thing about guidance. It will never coerce you or force you. So when we make our mistakes, they give us full permission to make our mistakes.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast Show. I'm so grateful to have you back, and we have an amazing guest, a friend of mine, a colleague friend of mine for a long time now. I'm so grateful that she's here today. Eva Gregory is a foremost expert on intuition, on utilizing that to manifest your business and to just be that natural channel you're meant to be, to manifest all the abundance you want with those premium high ticket clients. We'll talk all about that along the way, I'm sure, as well. But first and foremost, to be that natural channel to allow that to flow in your business. And so for me, I know like all the deeper success I've ever had in my business is when I'm being more connected to my channel, not when I'm getting in my head. Let me figure this thing out. Scott, more better ideas than my intuition. Yeah, right. Good luck with that. So, Eva, I'm grateful to have you on today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's so exciting to finally be together with you again because it has been a long time. A very long time.
Yes. Yeah, and you're reminding me how fun it is to connect with you again. Just how fun it is, So let's talk about Eva a little bit. Eva Gregory is an award-winning business success catalyst who helps heart-centered entrepreneurs scale to six figures and beyond by integrating inner guidance with proven business strategies to attract high-end clients with premium offers. Applying the law of attraction to her prior business, she was able to go from almost 100K in debt and near bankruptcy to a seven-figure bottom line in 9 months. Trust me, it's because she's connected. She is the author of the Feel Good Guide to Prosperity and Life Lessons for Mastering the Law of Attraction, which she co-authored with Jack Canfield of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, which is another amazing manifestation that came through our channel. So we're going to talk about this today. It's really letting the, you could get out of the way and let more of the fullness of your soul become that channel and the CEO of your business and all that stuff. And
that's right.
Wow, I'll just say this briefly is just. I'll be honest, I give it pretty transparent on this channel, but like I actually got up in my head for a few years, to be honest. I was starting to spin. Well, of course, I'm always tuning in, but I started getting more into my head, and I really did. I took the bait. I'm like,
I've done that.
I don't think my business is strong enough or growing enough. I need to figure this out, and I got to think about it. And I started doing more of that. It's a little too strong on that than I was just following guidance like I had been previously. Right? Eva raises her head.
And we all have.
Yeah. And then like things like didn't grow. They went the other direction. So I'm like, now I'm back on the no, it's all about energy and flow and expansion. And that's what wanted to expand more. And now everything's starting to expand, right? So
and it's such a prime time for it because people want that so much. And the energy is so primed for that, and for people to understand that what you do, this whole scanning and the energy alignment, that things are moving faster and faster energetically, right? And so the more that they get in your sphere and they start to integrate what it is that you teach and how you help them, oh my gosh, it's like now it's just the doors are opening. So, and that's even more so to stay out of our heads and get into our hearts. But please stay doing what you're doing. It is so perfect for right now.
Yeah, it disappeared for a while. I mean, I'm making this a little bit about me right now, but it's about the topic. But I gotta wait. Because my guidance did tell me to stop what I was doing for a while. But I don't think I got the follow-up memo. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it feels like. Because there's too much suffering to happen afterwards. But I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to let go of doing these trainings, energy scanning for right now, at least. And I kept doing a little bit here and there, but And then like the last year, it's just like, we're going, here we go. And
Yeah.
like, it's all come back in. And and I've always known it's meant for so many people. And
Yes.
now it's going in that direction. And so when we can just open up to, like there's that channel opens up more, because I think that it was getting jammed up with the business model before, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like now that I'm listening, now I'm open, I had to let it go. And now the channel is opening up for it to happen in so many other ways, and such more leverage, whatever, expansion and all that stuff. And I still can't say I am grateful, but like the deep gratitude, like that felt gratitude, really deep, is not quite there. If I'm totally honest, it's getting there, but like for what happened. But I'm like, we're on our way, and I'm fully grateful for that. So
Yeah. Really. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
so
I hear
but
you.
yeah. So my point, guys, is it's never too late to start listening. You know, tell us about you, Eva. Like, where have you taken the banana peel earlier in your life or along the
Oh
way?
my gosh. Oh, good grief. So, well, I had the banana peel in the software company, which, we
Mhm.
sold that and did that thing. But then even after I got into coaching and doing what I'm doing, and when I understood the power of law of attraction, that was when I decided I need to get out of high tech and into high people, because I was out of IBM and software, right? I wanted to get into people and heart-centered people. And I wanted to help people understand this thing called law of attraction, because it like levels the playing field for everybody. I don't care what your background is, what struggles you've been in, what your religion is. None of that matters. And I was just, oh my God, this stuff is so cool. So that's what I started doing, right, when I started my business. And then there were people that wanted to know, well, how are you creating the success, like the marketing part of your business, which, so our backgrounds, wherever we came from, it did serve its purpose, because I had that to bring to the table here. And then I
Mhm.
started doing that, and I got kind of away from the law of attraction. But at the same time, I was also starting to get my own inner guidance in a very strong way, right? Bringing in my guides. And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to share this with Robin, my mate, and I'm going
Mhm.
to share it with my best friends, but I'm not telling anybody that I'm getting guidance, right? And I was told at the time, your business, as you know, it won't be the same. And I was going, wait a minute, I've got something's working for me right now. I don't want to mess with this. But our guides, they're like, it's okay. You do what you want to do, knowing full well, well, you'll come around, right? That's the thing about guidance. It will never coerce you or force you. So when we make our mistakes, they give us full permission to make our mistakes, and they know, eventually we'll come around or not, but it's always our decision, right? But that's the way it felt. And so that gave me full permission to not do anything. But then I need to be sharing this. It kind of comes up from the core, just like your skin thing. You go and just get away from it, but you had to come back to it,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
and so that's what was happening with me. And I felt like, because I wanted to do it, but I was afraid to do it. So I was keeping it compartmentalized, and then I was doing the business stuff, and my business started to dry up
Mhm.
because I was not being my full self and expressing what I really knew, and the piece that actually is the core of why I'm here, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so my business did start to dry up, and the people that used to be signing up for my programs, all of a sudden nobody's signing up anymore. And I'm going, oh my God. And I went into my head, went totally into my head. I'm like, oh my God, I got to take a course on how to get the message right. I mean, I went down that like, what? I just
Right.
totally went backwards. Right words to put on my website, the colors to use, all of the I mean, all of the stuff, right?
Yep, yep.
Nothing was working. And then I did realize I've got to share this. And then I decided to share it. I came out with a close group of my clients, and I let them know that, hey, I'm starting to channel my guides now. And I just want to share it with you guys. You're the first ones I'm saying it to. And it was fabulous. It was so fabulous. And they were so warm and welcome. And I thought, oh, I live to tell about that. And then, so then it's interesting how that works. And maybe something came out of my sharing it there, but I just remember a one-on-one client saying, so what is it about this guidance? And can I do that too? And I'm going, how did you know? And so then I just started to talk about it. And then I realized, of course, this is what I'm here to do. And so then as I started to bring that in, things started to turn around for me again. But it was for a while there, it's like I had 1 foot on the boat and 1 foot on the dock, and the boat was taking off. Right? It was not a comfortable feeling at all. But so, and it happens. And, it's not like, I've had lots of times in my business when things are up and down and what am I going to do? And I get back in my head and then I get reminded, Eva, get back in your heart and listen to your guidance. Guidance. And I will tell you, and I know you know this too, your guidance will never steer you wrong. If you're doing something that goes wrong, it's because you overrode your guidance. Never has it steered me, ever. Even when I was afraid to step out and do it, like, okay, it's like the guidance is saying, fly, little birdie, you can fly. I'm like, okay, well, if I fall, I fall. And then I did fly. Right? Does that make sense? I mean, I know you've gone through this too for yourself, but it's that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's so many mistakes we could make, when it comes to listening to the guidance or not listening to it, or listening to it and then deciding, oh, thanks for sharing, I've got it from here. A lot of people do that too. I got this download, I'm doing this thing, now let me figure it out from there. Like, whereas if we didn't stay connected and keep listening. Also, what I've heard people say is like, I did listen to my guidance, this disaster happened in my life or whatever, right? And then if you quiz them more, they always say, but there was something underneath. I did sort of feel like maybe it wasn't my guidance. And,
yes.
and you can also get a sense of other guidance, right? Like, I'm kind of getting a total yes to this, but I'm also getting a no. So I know this is one of the things you help people with. We'll get right to it. Like, when people are getting like this big download, they get excited by something, but another part of them might be saying no. How do they know it's not just like their fears versus like really their deeper guidance? How do they discern that?
Yeah, well, so first of all, that's good that we're mixing ourselves up in it. And there, I just want to say something. Well, so much I want to say.
Sure, I know.
There's a difference in being pushed out of your comfort zone and it not being guidance. Like, oh, this must not be meant for me, because like your guidance is always going to call you forward to what you could be, but the guidance will call you out of your comfort zone. And sometimes that's kind of the reverse of the question you ask, but sometimes that's what's going on. And so you have to just, like for me, they were saying, okay, you don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. And then I just like, okay, I'm going to, and it was like, here's your comfort zone, right? Here's we are. We like being in a comfort zone. Don't mess with us. And they were being guided to something, or we're wanting something. It comes from the core of who we are. Even if we're afraid, we know it's something we want. That's different than being afraid that something bad's about to happen, right? There's two different kinds of fear. It's fear of the unknown, I think, that one. But and our limiting beliefs can start to get into play too. But the comfort zone is here. And then we say, okay, all right, I'm going to do it. And then I step out and it feels so wobbly. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, all right, I'm good. I'm good. And now we have a much bigger comfort zone. And then we get asked again to step out of our comfort zone. And so then once again, we're in that wobbly place. And then it will start to it starts to soothe out, right? But this is part of our growth and expansion. This is how we grow and expand. We do have to get out of our comfort zones, but there's a difference in getting out of your comfort zone, following guidance, and creating not being in comfort zone by following our limiting beliefs. Now, if someone is feeling like, okay, I'm being guided to this, but then I'm being guided over here, that is what I'm telling people. You make no decision at that point. You make no decision. You've got to sit with it and find what feels best. And then you say, okay, of these, what feels best is to go this way. Well, then I say, don't jump into the deep end at once. Put your tippy toe into it and then feel. And this is feeling good. And then you step out a little bit more and you feel. And so you'll, rather than what some people will do is, okay, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out. Like maybe they're being guided to leave corporate, like I did 100,000 years ago in a different lifetime. And then I step out and fell on my face. But the thing is, yes, step out, but then figure out what you're going to do. And I just went, I don't care. I'm just going. And then I bombed, right? I bombed. Or someone saying, I'm going to leave and I'm pulling up stakes and I'm moving to, some other country. And then you go, oh, but how am I going to make a living here? What, like, so you might be guided to those things, but you're going to be guided to the little steps along the way to get you to the ultimate result. And sometimes we see that and then we think, oh, that's where I should be. And we don't go through the journey that's leading us there, that builds the foundation that's going to have us be there in a way
Right.
that we would enjoy it, right?
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today.
Right, right. Yeah, we have expectations, projections of what it should look like, right? All those things. And then when our guidance is showing us the direction, we're like, well, that can't possibly be. Or I've even followed what was my guidance, but then I perceived that it didn't work out. Well, I've listened to my guidance and that didn't work. But like it's from a limited perspective, the idea didn't work, right? I mean, have you seen that too, or?
It is. And it's also sometimes our limiting beliefs.
Okay.
Right. Which will also get in the way. So
yeah.
Yeah,
like maybe something's jamming up the higher opportunity in it, even though it is the right direction, for example.
So let's say that, I want to start a business and I'm going to do these things. And then we have a limiting belief. Like, it's hard to make money and I can't charge for the value that I'm offering. All of that starts into play. It was. And then I've had clients say this, I must not be meant to have a business. This wasn't my guide. And I'm going, no, that is your guidance. Let's just pick out those things in between it. Like, it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? But it's like looking at those limiting beliefs. Yeah, I want to be in business, but I don't want to do what it takes to get clients. Or I feel like sales and marketing is sleazy and manipulative. Well, let's work with that, because it doesn't have to be. Just because it is for other people and you've seen it that way doesn't mean you have to operate that way. You get to do it your way. Right. And so then we work on the beliefs, but that's how we can get tripped up too, is those limiting beliefs can get in the way when that's exactly what we were here to do. But it was to find our way, and we're growing. I mean, I went through that. I can remember when I first left IBM and I was going out on my own that first time before I fell on my face. And I hired this guy because he made me stand in the mirror and ask for the sale. And I just petrified. I hated it. And I thought, if this is what I've got to do, then I don't belong in business. Well, it wasn't true. I did belong. It wasn't doing it that way. And it was for me to step out of my comfort zone, right? And find what it was that was going to have me grow to that next level. So these are the things we have to be really cognizant of when we're discerning, is it guidance or is it the gremlin? In these cases, it was the gremlin.
Guidance or gremlin.
Yes, exactly. Like guidance on one shoulder, gremlin on the other. So that's the angel and the devil. Exactly right. And so the other thing to also pay attention to is when you think about, like, just keep using the same example. I want to go out in business. There's this thing I want to do and share with people. And that feels so good. It feels exciting. That's guidance. And then when you think, and now I've got to go learn how to do sales, and that means I've got to be manipulative, and all of a sudden it feels contracting, and that's gremlin, right? So this is how it can get kind of convoluted. So you always know that your guidance feels light, it feels expansive, it feels exciting, it feels something that you're wanting to do, even if you don't know how, just the thought of it is exciting to you. But then if the gremlin feels contracting, it feels small, it feels heavy. Okay, so that's one of the ways that you can check in. And so one of the things too that I always remind people, because we can always create, we are the creators of our lives, right? And we can create it any way we want. So this is why I'm always telling people, you are your own best authority. Yeah, you want to hire people. I have my own mentors today. But you are your own best authority when it comes to how you do it, the way you do it. Take the things that resonates, leave the things that don't. Even my own guides say that. They will say something and they'll say that this is for only the pieces that resonate. And if it does not, it wasn't meant for you, let it go. Right. And we have to remember that we are our own best authorities, even as we're finding our way, through the new things that we're in. And the thing that I want people to remember is when you have a thought or a belief and you think about that, especially limiting beliefs, and it doesn't feel good to you, the reason it doesn't feel good is because you're not connected to your guidance. That is not your guidance saying this is truth. Truth always feels good. So when it says that you don't, what are you doing in business? You don't deserve to be in business, or our gremlin. Now, who do you think you are to be able to be successful in business? And that doesn't feel good. It's because it's not your truth. And your guidance refuses to have you feeling good. In other words, we haven't really disconnected, but it's like we've disconnected from our guidance and source, because source is up here saying, here's the truth of who you are. And you're down here with this, and we're not going to go down there and play with you there. And so therefore that disconnection doesn't feel good to us. So that's my thing with my clients is, okay, it's not your truth. So, okay, this doesn't feel good because this isn't my truth. What would feel better? What would feel better? Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking about like how can you find your compass? And one of those things would be what's going to feel good. I think, yeah, I mean, I want to suss that out because I mean, some things, okay, I know what you're talking about, but I want to suss it out for people because like I think there's a lot of like stuff that could get confused in that. Well, it feels good to eat candy too, that's my guidance, or this, you know what I mean? Like all those other types. It feels light, it feels good, and it
so
feels
here's
light and good not to
one of
sell
the ways
my services, right?
That's great. That's great. So here's the thing. Does it feel good before, during, and after?
Yes.
Because if you eat the candy and the cake and you stuff yourself and then you're thinking, oh, why did I do that? Well, now you know. So next time going in, you know. You may choose.
Right. That's the same thing I say, Eva. I love that.
What's
It's
that?
how you're going to feel after. Don't just tell me about what you're getting
before,
out.
during, and after.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you even say during, which I love. I didn't even thought to throw that one in the middle, but like, how are you going to feel after? Like, to me is the biggest. I just go right to the, I'm manifesting generator. I just go to the end. I'm like, where are we going? Like,
yeah.
So I'm thinking about that. But yeah, because I think like how are you going to feel? I'm going to feel awful trying to make a sale though, like during, like that's what they're saying. Now that's a gremlin though, right? I mean,
so this is it though. This is where you say it doesn't feel good to make the sale. Well, what doesn't feel good about? What's the story you're telling that says making the sale doesn't feel good? And that's where the limiting beliefs and the gremlins come up, right? Does that make sense? So like, it doesn't feel good because it's sleazy and manipulative. And I don't want people to think I'm, this aggressive person and I want them to like me. Okay, great. So that's a story. So there's a story that sales is sleazy and manipulative. You don't want any part of that. And yet you want to be in business and get clients. So, there's like this disconnect here. So therefore, let's create what would be a way, what would feel good to you. For me, I always, even in the computer industry, I was like, yeah, I love marketing. I love marketing. And somebody said, oh, you're in sales. And I was like, that is not what, because I had those stories too about sales. Some people have it about marketing. I happen to love marketing. And the way that it worked for me in my business is because I did not want to do the sales. And so what did I do? I put stuff out there, but I would never go after people or get them to sign up. If they liked it, I invited them to reach out to me. That's how I soothe that. And so it's these little things that you have to work through, right? I mean, if it was all so easy, we'd all be, any issues. But then I did learn, and as I was doing, it's like, my gosh, and I now teach that sales, sales is not a 4-letter word. And I love, some people say, well, sales is serving, and you're going, yeah. Well, I'm still feeling that way. But here's the way I look at it. Now it's like, if I have something I feel that other people could benefit from, I want to share about it, but I'm not going to go knocking on your door. I'm not going to be doing cold calls. I'm not doing any of that. I'm still doing marketing, but I'm also sharing. And so I say the energy of this is I'm at a party and I'm passing around my hors d'oeuvre tray. And here's all these hors d'oeuvres that I have to offer. Here's what I feel is good. Here's the people that could benefit by having my hors d'oeuvre. Would you like one? And either you say yes, or you say no, or you say not now, or you say not for me, but I know somebody it is. And no matter what, when you have that energy, I'm just passing my hors d'oeuvre tray. there's no energy on it. You don't like somebody, when you pass your hors d'oeuvre tray, you don't, oh my God, she said no. I have abandonment issues. Oh, I'm not cut out
Right,
for this.
exactly.
You don't do that. And so
Right.
I learned that that's the energy. You're just sharing, and those who want it will show up, and maybe not today, but they may later. You'll have other hors d'oeuvres, or it'll be another party, or new people will be coming in. And then you keep putting it out there. That's the marketing, right? You keep putting your message out there so that when those do see you, they're raising their hand when they're ready. But that's for me. And even when I have one-on-one calls, the strategy session, whatever you want to call them, right? The first thing I do is I set my intention that the spirit of universal love is what I'm coming from. That's
Mhm.
it. And I also do same thing I do for everything is I want people who come on to that call with me to feel better than they did when we got on the call after we leave, whether they sign up for me or not, with me or not. And when I do that, and also when I'll get on, I'll say, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, but this is to see if it's a fit, if or how I can help you.
Right.
Not I'm here to try to sell you this thing.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So all along the way, that is the messaging and the positioning that I have. And so then if someone says, yep, nope, it's not for me, then that's quite all right. I'm not going to say, oh, but you don't understand. Do you know what you're missing? I don't do any of that. I know that you are creative, resourceful, and whole. And if I've done my job and I have shared what I've got and it's not resonating with you, or you're not ready at this point, then that's divine. It is divine timing either way. Now, there's a flip side to that. If I see someone who's like, oh my God, I really do want to do it. I really do, but I don't like that's the whole getting out of your comfort zone. Then I will take a stand and I will say, okay, I'm just going to tell you, I would love to be working with you. I think this would be a really great program for you. And I understand where you're feeling. I'm just telling you, I can see how it would work, but it's totally up to you. And then I'm off of it. And if they say no, they say no. But it's a very different conversation than the kind of sales that we have been taught or we've had experienced ourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's we typically think it's about being aggressive or sleazy or manipulative, like you mentioned before. And when the soul is CEO, getting back to the touchstone, which to me, soul is CEO has a lot to do with just basically listen to your intuition, listen to the higher aspect of yourself, so to speak. So from that place, then when we're looking to lead our business and then get into marketing and sales, um, like right now, I'm doing, I'm having DMs go out. Now, I'm not sending them all in all transparency. I've approved of the first message that goes out through the DM. So in a sense, I did send it, right? Pretty much if I do individual DMs, if I'm DMing on something, it's like I have, it's going to be pretty much the same thing I say every time anyway, right? So I'm having them being done for me. And I always, the judgmental mind is like, DMs, everybody says they're horrible. And there's what are horrible? People don't want DMs that are sleazy and,
exactly
like crappy DMs. Like, there's a way to do things that are good, just like with sales, right? It's just a matter of how you're going about it.
Absolutely.
I get lots of people saying no all day, but because of the way I'm doing the marketing, they're very nice about it. It's like, oh, thanks, or whatever. And it's fine. I'm putting the frequency out though. And now it's like with doing so many contacts, you get to the point where it's like, wow, I feel amazing. 100 people said no today or whatever it is, right? Like, this feels amazing. It's the opposite of what you would think. Like, you're going to feel rejected. For me, after a while, it just feels amazing. Like, wow, we're contacting, we're stirring stuff up. Here we go.
Well, what the other thing too, the energy it comes, and it's right. Like I teach doing DMs as well with my people in the Enlightened Business Success Academy, but there's the way of doing it and the energy of doing it, right? And so so it's not all or nothing, and that's what people end up doing.
Right.
No, never do DMs. Sales are bad. Like it's all or nothing, and it's just not true. And we all get to create things to be the way that resonates with us. And when we come from our heart and the way things are, from our values, those who are a match are going to see it in that way. And we're not here to be all things to all people. And so, of course, the majority of people will be saying no, because we aren't here for everybody. But the ones that we are here for, oh my gosh, they are going to be the ones that appreciate it, who resonate it, and will say yes. The other thing for me is, every time there's a no, or someone's not signing up for something, or they sign up for the launch, but not the launch, but the 5-day challenge, right? And then they don't move forward from there. That's okay, because also what's happening is, whether they ever work with me or not, we planted seeds.
Yes.
We don't know. This is something my guys have said, you have no idea, all of us, the power and the impact that we're making on people that we may never know of. Never. And for me, it's like, okay, I'm good. And the rest of it is, there's abundance in all other ways. There's plenty of people who will resonate. And so even with the no's, like you're saying, it's like, guess what? You're getting that much closer to that next yes, right? Get that much closer. But you're planting seeds along the way too.
One of the gremlins I know that I had was, once I got past my like awkwardness to even do sales at all, like I'd be like, hey, you're totally perfect, but I do see all these wounds you have. However, you don't need to hire me, but if you want to, you could.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's kind of the sales conversations I would have like for a long time in the beginning. Then finally I'm like, I just have to go for it. Like, just go for it. Like, just to ask them, ask them questions maybe, but tell them like, this will be good for you. Everything like, I mean, because it would be, right? So it's like, I tell them the truth. So my thing is with sales, because I train sales, because, with energy scanning, it's part of the deal. I guess it's part of the service, but it's also part of sales that we do, like offering these 15-minute energy scans, and you can offer your service. It's like a diagnostic, tuning into people. And so I always tell people, because people, when I used to do training in a certain way around sales, people, all the healers especially, shut down. Like, we're not even listening to any of this. And so I had to learn how to put it in the right container. And when I started saying it's all about loving them, it's all about loving them, all you're doing is take a stand for them. All you're doing is taking a stand for them. That's all you're doing. And then you let them decide. You just let them decide. You give them a choice. You just put the opportunity on the table, like you said with the appetizer, right? You just put the opportunity on the table. But why aren't you putting out there? They might want the offer. You need to make the offer and make it a little.
Gotta make the offer. Like, that's the whole reason they know that an offer's coming. People are not stupid. They understand. They understand what's going on as well.
Right.
But yeah, you definitely make the offer, and then it's up to them to either choose it or not. Right. One of the things I think, like, if you just figured out how to that all blind people could see, and you say, oh, but I don't want to do sales, so I'm not going to say anything, you would be shouting it from the rooftops. Oh my God, I have this thing. And then there still might be some who say, no, I'm really comfortable in my blindness, and that's okay too, right? That's exactly their path.
That's why I know energy scan training is right for me, because I feel it's like a divine outrage that people don't know how to access the ability to do it. Everybody, really, not just healers, but that's where I'm focused right now. I'm like, all of you can do this, basically. I mean, maybe some of you need more training than others sometimes, right? That could be true. But I've seen anybody, no matter how blocked they are, if they actually will stick with it and work with it, they will be able to do it. So, but most people with such things, if they're struggling, their natural inclination say, "This must not be for me," that type of thing. But not it's true.
Yes. So, But man, I mean, that work is so powerful, though. I mean, right now, I'm just telling you, right now, especially, it is so prime. People, you need to be hearing him. Oh my goodness. Yes, for sure.
Thank you, Eva. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. I mean, right now, that's why I think I was called back into it now, because I just feel like, whoa, we really need to awaken. And one of the ways is like really getting attuned with our psychic and intuitive gifts, right? And you're out doing that with this. So I wanted to ask you then, I mean, so I have my own way of listening. Like, I do it in different ways because one of the things I was taught through human design later, after I've been channeling for a long time already, like, you got to go to your sacral. But I was already unconsciously doing that, and I just didn't realize I was doing it, right? But now I do it more consciously. Now I'll get, all that stuff they teach with sacral. So how do you teach people how to, the basics obviously here today,
Yeah.
but how do you teach them to be able to get their signals, like to get the messages, to be able to hear their
Yeah.
yeses and nos and all that stuff?
Yeah. You know, which I'm happy to talk about, but because you drew me in with the human design. So are you a generator?
Yeah, I'm a manifesting generator.
Manifesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good.
How about you? I gotta know you.
Generator. I'm a generator.
Generator,
I'm a
right?
generator.
Okay, makes
But
sense.
we're both interesting. It's the sacral, right? That is it. And that is how we, at least for me, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, that's always been kind of where, you know, it's that emotional response, right? And when I'm working with others to learn how to tune into theirs, one of the things for all of us, no matter what our design is or our type or any of that stuff is, our emotional guidance system is the most basic, fundamental way that we get guidance. And most people don't understand that that's guidance. When you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that, or I don't want to do that, or that emotional feeling you have is telling you something, right? Or if it's like, oh my God, yes, that so resonates. That emotional feeling you have is guidance. So that's the basic way that I have people just tap in. But what I usually do is like get into present moment. Oh my gosh, present moment. It's all we got anyway, right? We've heard that. How many years have we heard this? Get into present moment. But really, forget the past. All you've got is right now. Forget the future. It's not here yet. And even when it gets here, you'll be where? In your present moment, right? Always in the present moment. And the moment we do that, there is something about any resistance in our energy that kind of, it just lets go in that moment. And so once we're here in the present moment, and what I tell people is, all right, right here, you may have issues going on, relationship things, crisis, you may have nothing in your bank account, but in this present moment, all is well, right here. Once you project out to all the other stuff, that's when you start to activate that. But in this present moment, all is well. And as I'm in this present moment, now you can either ask for the clarity around something. That would be one way. Or you set the intention. Let's say that you just want one of the things. If you don't know what to ask, one of my guides kept saying, if you don't know what to ask what to ask. I'm like, okay. But one of the things you always, if you don't know anything else, you know how you want to feel. And so rather than how do I do this thing? Well, based on what I've got coming on in the business, ask yourself, how do I want to feel? You never say, I want to feel crisis. I want to feel confusion. I want to feel fear. You always say, I want to feel good. I want to feel peace. I want to feel confidence. And the minute you ask that question, it turns you around energetically towards what you want. Okay. And now you're open to guidance in all the different ways that it can come to you. So that's another thing that I do. And then the next thing that I have them do, or I have people do, is just to find your 10 to 15 minutes a day. You don't need any more than that unless you just want to, just to get quiet, not to get no thought. Okay. Because then what happens is we get into resistance of not having thought. Oh my God, there was thought, right? Now they're anything but relaxed, right?
Yes. Am I doing it right? Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Like, okay. And then all this stuff comes in. And if there's a lot coming in and, oh my God, I forgot to pick up the dog food today, then you just have a notepad or something here. You write it down and you just come right back. But there's no resistance to it. This is the thing that gets people kind of balled up, is because they keep introducing resistance. Oh, I have a thought. Like, nope. I'm just focusing on relaxed present moment. And if you want to feel gratitude and appreciation is the energy you want to bring to it, not even for anything in particular, just gratitude and appreciation. That's a great way to be opened up. And then the thoughts will come in, and then let it go. It's like, oh, okay, isn't this nice? It's like I'm sitting outside and a breeze is by, rather than say is a thought just came in, like, oh, little breeze just went by, right? And when you do, the more relaxed you are, and then you will start to get ideas will come, but it won't be because you were trying to figure it out in your head and going out after it. It will be you are open and allowing it to drop in. And that's the difference too. So if I were to say, think of your car. Right now, when you think of your car, you are going out to think of the car. Like But if I had not said that and you were doing something else and all of a sudden your car came, the thought of your car came in or somebody pops in, which is usually the case, that's coming in. That's coming in from your channel to your guidance, right? And higher self and the quantum field. And so setting your intentions and feeling like, here's what I want to do. I don't know when, I don't know how. That's when we get buggered up too. But I don't know how, but boy, I want to do that. And that would feel so good. Okay, let's get into center. What are my next steps? Or give me the inspiration. And then be open to it not coming right then, or it will, but you're practicing literally opening up that channel to guidance. And then once you feel complete, whether you got something or not, you go about your day. And what you'll find is synchronicities, serendipities, something will happen. Someone will bring the answer to you. You'll be driving down and see a billboard that has your answer on it. I mean, all kinds of ways, different things will show up, right? So these are all the little things that I have people do to start learning how to tap into their guidance. And then as they do, they'll begin to become aware of, wow, I just noticed every time I do this, I get more guidance. Great, do more of that. Another thing is by either on a keyboard or writing, but just start writing. Whatever's in your head, don't even trying to get the guidance. Like, is it, you just, okay, this is stupid. I want to get guidance. And here I am, and I'm wasting time. And now it's been 15 minutes and nothing's coming through. And then something will come through. And then you'll go back to doing that. And after you sit back, print it out, highlight the little things that came in that made sense. And you'll start to notice there's messages coming through, because we've got all the garbage is coming through along with the message, right? We got the polluted stream. And so we got the guidance is in there with all the garbage. But the more that you do that, especially if that's what you like to do, some people don't like to write, some people do. If that's your thing, I would say do that and do it a lot, because then you'll start to clear out that the more of the garbage stuff, and the more you will start to get that guidance, especially if you're doing your practice of every day, 10 to 15 minutes, you don't need more than that, just to get quiet, just even when thoughts are coming in, just to practice that, because it's like going to the gym. You are strengthening that channel every day that you're doing it. And consistency, by the way, is key. Not once today and then do it for 2 hours on 3 weeks from now, right? Find your 10 or 15 minutes as best you can. Sometimes we'll miss, but
right. Yeah, that's most people I talk to. They're like, yeah, I meditate every once in a while or every other day. I'm like, oh, every day. And, like as people go further with me, I usually ask them at least to meditate. Like you said, they don't have to, but they keep taking it to a higher level. I'm always like, well, are you meditating 3 times a day? Or, and you can always go longer. There's some people who want to meditate 2-3 hours to start their day. They swear by it, right? I mean, it's just like people like cold plunges and this and that. Like there's all kinds of ways of doing things, right?
Oh, for sure.
There's no absolute right or wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah,
people say you don't need guidance once you get to a certain level and this and that. I'm like, okay,
you'll be guided. This is the stepping stones, and then you'll be guided to what works for you. And walks in nature. I tell you, when I used to get tapped on was out running. Oh my gosh, that was my meditative place, right? So yeah, it'll show up. And yeah, if you want to do cold plunges, have at it. You can have mine too. Doing that.
You can do it for you too. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm not a cold plunge guy either. I mean, that's not my deal. But so I like to go to the gym. See, the gym sucked for me in a way. Like I kind of enjoy the gym, but I don't enjoy the gym kind of thing is what I was dealing with. But ever since I got this workout app that tells me what to do, and it's like supposedly got, AI and it's figuring things out for me.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
got my back or whatever. Like I just feel like I've got support, and it's like, yes, we're doing this thing together with the app. And it's so bizarre. I know it sounds bizarre, but it is fun. It's like otherwise it just feels like I'm just doing, okay, you're supposed to do these sets and all.
Right. No,
it tells me to do it's fun.
It makes all the difference. It's like having your own trainer there, right? That's why, that's why I always had trainers, and is because if I didn't, I wouldn't be getting up, because I know I got a trainer waiting on me, right? But to have those apps and then to build it up and make it exciting and let you know we're doing this and we're doing this and here's the reason. I mean, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, my guidance asked me to, I know this is a fun, real quick story, but I was looking at the upgrade for the app because, there's always a free and paid version. I was like, you know what? I saw they had a sale recently, but I wasn't getting the guidance to do it then. So I'm going to ask if they'll give me that deal now. And I was telling them I'll sign up right away if they do it. And so I asked them, it's like just a fun thing, not that I couldn't just pay for it. So I
Sure.
asked them, and then they said, we'll do you one better. Give us a good review, seeing as you say you like it so much. And we'll give it to you lifetime for free, basically. So like, so it goes to show, like, if you follow your guidance and for me, it's like following that true desires. Always talked about all
Yeah.
these years, like that true, genuine desire that's just bubbling there. It's just give it attention, feel it, right? As they always say, like
Totally.
feel the feeling and just follow that. And like those type of, I know it's kind of a small thing, but a big thing, right? But like, it's like, wow, look at what can happen. Anything. I go to a restaurant, I get a desire for something, they just bring it to me, literally. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. Like they just will, like they just like, yes, okay, yes, whatever. It totally reorders the universe in a sense. Like, and so imagine what we could do, what could be possible, kind of world we could live in. Let me put it that way. If
Yeah.
we could just allow ourselves to trust, cultivating that, realizing it does actually come from within. It's not out there, right? And so that's what
Right.
you're encouraging people to do with this, is what I'm hearing, right? Is create the
Absolutely.
desire, to focus on the desire, and then the guidance will lead you into the fulfillment,
Absolutely.
is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah. And I just also, when you feel inspired, that is in spirit. That is also guidance. So one of the things that I also remind people is if I'm feeling inspired to something right now, follow that. But
Mhm.
then what happens if I'm inspired to do something and then I didn't complete it, but now I'm not inspired anymore? And I've said, then what are you feeling inspired to? Well, I'm inspired to do this other thing over here. Then follow that. If in fact you are following inspiration, not shoulds,
Right,
right? But if
right.
you're following inspiration and follow it till it kind of peters out, that's your guidance saying, okay, this is where you needed to go. And now we're done for now. Because there's also what we don't understand is all of the arranging for things to show up in our experience is coming at different times. And so if I'm saying, okay, I'm feeling inspired to start creating this workshop, and then now I'm not feeling inspired anymore. And then 2 days later, I learned something that's going to take it to a completely different space. If I had forced myself to go through finishing it, I would have wasted all that time because I just got something even better, right? But that was why. And then I was inspired to doing something else, which led me to talk to somebody, which was for something I didn't even know was going to come up, or wasn't even in my what was that called, that my sphere anyway.
Yeah,
And it's like,
awareness,
oh,
or
yeah, what a great thing. And that would not have happened had I stayed and forced myself to finish the workshop. So this is why sometimes people say, but I'm going to finish things. We are been taught when you start something, you must finish it. Oh my goodness. If it's inspiration now, got to be really clear. If I'm totally inspired to this and now I'm not, then it might be time just for the moment to put it aside and follow that next inspiration. And then when that isn't, then you follow the next. And what you'll find, if that's what you're doing, is that you will be guided right around all the things that are meant to be done and will happen in divine timing and in an easy way, because you followed your guidance versus forcing certain things in certain places.
Right.
Does
It's
that
so
make sense?
liberating. It's a solo CEO rather than, all these programs, because you'll hear people that financially are very successful say, what Eva just said is a bunch of crock. Like, it's a bunch of stuff.
That's okay.
I
You
just,
keep doing, you do you, boo, as everybody likes to say.
yeah, let me just say this real quick, because this is always something that my mind debates. It's not,
Yeah.
I know better, but like my mind debates it. Because I'll hear those people, I grant them audience for whatever, because they have some good things this year. So they'll say
Absolutely.
like, no, it's all about 100 hours a week. Don't give me any bullshit to follow your flow and all that stuff. Even
And it
beloved
can
people
be.
that we like, I mean, to say that thing sometimes, but like, what I have found, like I literally can't survive doing that. Like my system literally
Because
cannot do
it's
it.
not your path. See, that's
Right,
why it's
exactly.
not cookie
Exactly.
cutter.
No,
And
exactly.
you know, people say that, and I don't even say that it's definitely not wrong. There are people who
Right,
live for that.
right.
Those are the people that's for, and
I
that's
agree.
why
I
my
agree.
way would be miserable for them. What do you
Right.
mean? I'm just gonna like I thought because
Right.
that is what inspires them.
Exactly, because what I was hearing, one of the speakers that said this one time, that what I'm getting is they like the suffering. They like the sense of suffering. They actually kind of, I want to say, get off on it. Like they're like, wow, we're really suffering. This is awesome. Like
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but it literally is what's happening. They embrace it. They're like, if I'm suffering, it means great things are happening.
yeah,
That's how they interpret it. For me, I'm just like, I'm just suffering.
yeah. Right. It's like not in my world.
Right. So it's not my thing, because I
Yeah.
mean, I can't sleep at night. Like all kinds of crazy crap happens to me if I try to be that. I remember one time, like they said, like schedule every minute of your day type of system and all this stuff. I literally, that's what they said, schedule every single thing and then do it, execute completely. I about killed somebody about halfway into the day. Like this is many years ago, but
Yeah.
I tried it and I couldn't even survive half a day at the most. And I'm like, okay, I'm an insane person. This does not work for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to
That's why,
find, you're right. So you have to find
yeah,
what works for you, right? I
you
mean,
have to, and we're all unique. And then that kind of introduced back into like all of our types and our designs, and
right.
someone who is, I don't want to get into human design because a lot of people
Yeah.
know what we're talking about, but
Right.
there is a certain design where that like I'm a generator. I'm like the ever ready rabbit or the bunny energizer bunny. Anyway, whatever that thing is,
Yes,
I can
yes.
go and go and go and go and go and go. Manifestors, like I'm the marathon runner. Now you
Mhm.
kind of you're a hybrid, so I have
Yeah.
manifesting generator envy. But anyway, the fact is that the visionaries, that's the manifestor,
Yeah.
right? You're the visionary, but you need the generators to kind of carry that through. And sometimes people
Right.
will look at those and say, hey, you didn't finish it, you didn't finish what you started, but
Right.
that's not your job. Your
Right.
job, like the CEOs of companies, like theirs is to be the visionary and then have the others help
Right.
to bring that to fruition. And then there's another type who is, and by the way, the manifestors, you're kind of the sprinters, which means you
Right.
sprint with the vision and then you're done. So you kind of got you got a nice little combination, it seems like. And then there's another one where it's just, I need space, I need to be slow, I need, and if it's not this way, I have a client who that's her type. I'll just say projector.
Mhm.
I don't gotta be
Right.
careful. We're not going down rabbit holes here for
Right.
the
Right.
interview, but she was following that whole, you got to, what you were just saying, you need to be in there and you need to be working. And I'm thinking that's not going to work for you. And she said,
Right.
but I hired these people and they're going to do these things and they're telling me this is what I need. And she said, and then she came back and she said, Eva, this is what it takes to be in business, I don't want to be in business. I said, it's not. That is just not that's not your path. That's not you. That's not your constitution. And
Right.
that's why we have to really, we're our own best authorities, right? We have to
Right.
remember that.
Right. Yeah. 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 Exactly. I mean, like I love like when in the past and now I'm doing it again where I have other people they're doing the coaching or certain aspects of what I do and I give it to them. It's so exciting for me because of the leverage and it's also like they're smart of them is like almost begging for this opportunity, right? Whereas I
Yeah.
used to judge, I'm like, why aren't they more like me? But they aren't. Quit judging it. Just give it
Yes.
to them, like
Let them
they
do it their
want it,
way.
give it to
Yeah.
them, don't deny them
Yeah.
their desire and judge it, just give it to them. And it's so satisfying to me. I'm like, I'm helping you. You're really happy. I'm really happy with it because I don't have to do those pieces that I don't enjoy as much. I can just
Right.
give it to you to do that, right? Whether it's a
Right.
VA or whatever, all the different things. And then I get to ultimately, you're right. I can, when I'm at my best, I can run something else forward then. All right, well, let's do this thing now, right? And then I can have a team member run with that, right? And then I don't have to keep peeking in on it, but every so often then, right? Like, okay,
Right.
how's that going? All right, I'm getting, and because I'm for me, I'm like an energy wave. I'm like, all right, it's more the energy that I'm bringing to them and some of my downloads that
Yep.
helps the performance than any technical thing I have this year, right? And
Sure.
then it just keeps moving things forward. So Yeah, we could really, yeah, it's fun when you finally honor just being who you are and you don't, yeah, we're talking about this thing, human design, but I mean, it's great. Check it out if you want to, 100%. But also, it's just like, if you just listen to what's your authentic truth is the main thing, because you
Yes.
could get caught up in the human design thing too in your
You
head.
can get
Yeah,
all of those kinds of
yeah,
assessments can put us in a box. So we have to be
yeah,
careful
yeah,
of that,
exactly.
right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
why it keeps coming back to you know yourself, you know what
Right,
resonates
right.
with you and what doesn't. And so trust that. Trust
Mhm.
that.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Eva. So, wow, a lot of cool stuff. I'm really grateful for everything you share. So I know now people, if they want to accelerate here and really get their alignment going with their guidance, um, what do you recommend? I see you have a free gift for us today.
I do. It is called the Inner Guidance Matrix. It's the Inner Guidance Decision Making Matrix. Okay. Let me just see
Mm-hmm.
if I can pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Got my cheat sheet for it here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I see here it's gonna
Here
help
we
you do
go.
all kinds of great stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, the Inner Guidance Decision Making Matrix. And so basically what that is doing, it's designed so that it brings all the different aspects into harmony. You're going to make your decisions. There's going to be certain things that you will evaluate, but then you're going to tap into your guidance. There's yeah, it's a matrix, four matrices. Is that how you say it? Matrix? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, what it's going to do is it's going to help you. You can assess whatever questions you have, and by you could do it for your life as well, but it's set up for business, right? But you can assess whatever the opportunities or the projects are coming up or decisions you're needing to make about different things in your business, and it's going to help you discern that based on a practical lens as well as intuitive lens, and it's going to walk you through the different aspects of doing that. It's going to help you recognize when it's your fear or your gremlin that's masquerading as practicality. Okay, so it's going to help you discern that in this little matrix. It's going to help you identify when maybe it's excitement or is it overwhelm. So it's just, once again, it's going to give some practical things like questions to ask, but then it's going to bring in, okay, now tap into your inner guidance to see what's really going on here so that you are making good decisions that honor who you are, your spirit, your values, and the way that you want to be operating in the world. So there you go. It's called the Inner Guidance Decision Making Matrix, and it's at innerguidancematrix.com.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, it's totally cool. And I would honestly, of all the people I know, I mean, Eva, with all honesty, like you would, you're definitely top of the list, like in terms of integrity, terms of like, I was like, I mean, I'm not saying I can't trust other people, but like, you're one of those people I'd be like, all right, I need one lifeline for someone to help me out of this bind. I mean, outside of family, other people really close to me, right? I'd be like, give me Eva Gregory. You'd be that type of
Oh,
person, like, because I'd be like, you're so trustworthy and you're going to help. I mean, you're
yeah.
really good at
Thank
helping
you.
people get what they want, and so you would be at the top of the list. So I can't over endorse, even in
Yeah,
this
thank
case.
you.
I mean, and I can say that extra with you too, because I've known you for so long. The things Eva is saying today, there's some new things maybe, but honestly, some of the things she's saying today, I heard over 10 years ago from Eva. Like, so
Because some things
right?
are just
Yeah.
truth,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would totally, I mean, you definitely want to be doing, if you feel the guidance, of course. I mean, but if you're feeling that, definitely, I just can't more endorse, Eva and her work. So whatever it is she says that she's got to offer you, take a look.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Good thing. So we're to the part of the show where we do a little energy scanning. And we talked about that earlier, a lot of energy
Yeah,
scanning
fun.
talk. But so yeah, I'd like to give you a couple of downloads. You ready to receive, Eva?
I'm ready.
All right, and like I always say, audience, it's probably for you some of these messages, so listen up. All right, let's see what comes through. Okay, so again, I just hear what comes through. Sometimes my little mind still wonders, no matter how often I do this. But because the way it comes through is that there was this sense of I'm getting like as a kid, like you had the sense of like you could, yeah, I could be really successful, like something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was I get earlier in their life. I get kid maybe somewhere in childhood or something, but I get something about like you. And it might have been just in moments. I don't know. I don't know. But I get this image of you being confident, like I've seen you many times in pictures, like with the toasts and stuff. I get kind of that vibe too. And it's like, yep, we got it going on and it's happening. And, but I also get like what there was, like people like you and myself that like get confident and radiate all this great. Like there's always gonna be somebody's a detractor, right? They're gonna say,
Sure.
no, you can't have that. Who do you think you are, right? So I get that you got that, and then this actually for a long time probably really dampened you in terms of being able to feel like, okay, I can really trust myself and that real confidence you do have. And so I was just recognizing like you've lifted up through a lot of that, and like, but I also see what's exciting. It's not a bad thing. It's like I see like even more is possible with that still. Like you have such an ability to be so confident, and to just be like, yeah, everybody can have what they want, like all that kind of thing. And so yeah, so anyway, that's what's coming through. And we'll talk about that if you want in a minute. Let me give you one more download first. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Shh. Yeah, they're really on like with the strong, it's the stronger, strong energy. Like they're saying, I heard holy fire energy and everything. Yeah, I feel like the energy for your fire is just want to really explode. Because my experience of you today is like, we're all in different waves of energy, right? We're who we are, and then different waves come through. And I just feel this energy, like the Kundalini or whatever you want to call it, but this holy fire energy too is like rising in you even more now, and it's really strong. And yeah, I just feel like it just like a whole whatever lids that might still be there, right? Like that just want to pop off, and it's really exciting. So, but it's like coming up, maybe through your, like the way I kind of perceive it, it's kind of coming up through your power and your heart some, but there is a little bit of hesitation, up in the chest and the throat energy. It's like, well, I don't know, we're ready to go quite that far yet. So there's some of that stuff, that hesitation there.
Yep.
And so, because I don't know, what I'm hearing is that again, you'd want to, because of the integrity, because I want to get it right, because I don't want to, I can't, it's still judgment. You don't want people to judge you as like, who the hell does she think she is, right? And that's why you have so much love and kindness for other people. Like you want people to understand you're amazing, right? And so, but yet, like, you have this brilliance that wants to even percolate more and come out more through your voice and your visibility, your own, like as visible as you are, and as many people as follow you already. Like there's just like I get this next level, and it's just exciting to me. So those are the couple of downloads for you.
That's awesome. So, it's very interesting because I just felt like, especially when I was growing up, I learned if it's to be, it's up to me, or how if it's yeah, that's exactly the thing. I learned I couldn't depend on other people. So I don't know that I felt so much like invincible, but I felt like if it's going to happen, I got to be the one to do it, right?
Right,
And
right,
so
right.
that's kind of been, my MO from fourth grade, telling mothers, as soon as I can get a job, I'm leaving. Right. I was like, okay, I
Right.
can't depend on anything here. But so they did have kind of that energy, and you're right. We always still have that, oh my God, what will people think? And
Yes, yes,
wanting
yes.
to take things to the next level. And then of course my human thing is that I'm looking at other people and then wanting to do the comparison game. Comparison game is deadly. People don't do what I do, just do what I say. Don't do it. But I do, right? I have that
Sure.
like I'm comparing to compared to other people, and
Right.
And who am I? Can I even do this? Right? That's the gremlin, right?
Right.
But
Totally.
I love that you called it fire, because it was like, yes, I'm like,
Eva, this is where I gotta say it. Like, you did have it. Like I said, it might have been a moment. It might not have been all the time. It might have felt like, oh,
yeah,
I'm not that great in childhood. But like, there were moments where it rise up. It'd be
it was,
like, yes, we can win. We're gonna do
yeah,
this. We're good.
yep,
We're great. It
yep,
would rise up in you, and like that's what I'm seeing. Like, it's actually getting fulfilled. It's coming out more
yeah,
and more, right?
yeah,
Through all these years and decades, and sometimes it's lifetimes for me, right? But like, I see it
yeah.
coming through for you. And so yeah, I mean, I think that yeah, it's great. And I feel like, again, you're really close to I feel like it's happening already, but like, yeah, I feel like
I
some
feel like this is my year. We'll call it, this is
right,
my
right,
year for the next
exactly.
level. How's that?
Right. Yeah, I
I'll
like that.
take it.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, everybody, if you want to learn more about myself as well, you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com. So you can go to the website and take advantage of the meditate and make money meditation, which I guess is supportive of what we've been talking about today, right? It works, guys. I mean, I
Absolutely.
have people come back and they say, I've just been listening to your thing. Like, I'm not doing other stuff right now, and I'm making more and more money doing my business. So it works. So you can check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com, get your free meditate and make money meditation. You can take a look at the rest of the site. I've got a energy scan consultation on there as well. And I also have a link below if you want to learn about energy scan training. I know Eva, supported sharing this in the world. I believe you've taken a peek at the program a little bit that I've done. And, it works, guys. I mean, people actually come in thinking they can't do it. How could I tune in? I can't. That's for you guys, or whatever. No, as it turns out, everybody can do it.
Can I just say something here?
Yes, go ahead.
Trust that you can. Please trust that you can, people. Everything is opened up so much more. Our intuition, our intuitive awareness is opening up like crazy. And this is just another opportunity to take advantage of that and use it for you as well as other people that you're doing it for. But the time couldn't be more ripe for doing the kind of thing that, Daniel, you're teaching people how to do.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's true. I mean, it is. There's something about this time period where it's just it's go time with this. Like, finally, would you trust already? Right? Your infinite intelligence, your infinite power. Come on now, let it flow. Recognize it. Awaken. So anyway, there'll be a preview call for what I do coming up soon. So check out the preview call link. You can join for free. I'm doing energy scans there. So if you're like, hey, I'd like an energy scan, you can go and check it out and see if it's for you to learn how to do it as well. So, all right. So Eva, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It's always a great time. It's been so much fun. I've loved everything you had to share, and I'm just so grateful always to be together with you.
Yes, likewise. It's been too long.
Yeah. All right, everybody. And thank you for everyone listening in, and keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till the next time. You're listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.